Now, what I really want to see is the SPY come down here and crack this red to green. I don't know. I feel like that's asking for too much, but in a logical market, that's what you would want to see and what you would think is supposed to happen. But again, it's not what I or anyone else thinks, what the market wants to do. And depending on that, you have to trade with the trend. Again, the trend is your friend. Yeah, I have an overall bearish thesis, but again, on an intraday perspective, I'm not married. I ain't got no ring on my finger. I'm faithful over the long-term higher time frame, but on the intraday, I'm hoeing around. You feel me? And look, this is what we really want to see. Apple underneath VWAP, far beneath the 9 and the 10. Again, it's trying to catch a bounce at this level right here. All right, first of all, let's go ahead and clean up this chart. Apple trying to base here, but what we want to see is it crack that level here. Right here. See, it's bouncing off that level. 144.50s. I want to see Apple crack that level and then crack the 120. Until Apple cracks the 120, you feel me? Like the market still has a chance and the potential to reverse back up to the upside, because Apple's, again, is the most heavily weighted stock in the indexes. So if Apple is still in an uptrend overall on a higher time frame and or above that 120, it's still kind of bullish to me. And when Apple is still kind of bullish, Apple has the potential to make the whole market bullish. So what would really validate my thesis is to see Apple crack that 144.50s level and then crack the 120 long-term directional moving average. And it's getting close to it now. It just touched it. So we want to see it crack that thing. Now, if we see Apple crack that 120, which it's doing right now, let me show you. See? We want to see Apple crack that. Now, if Apple can crack that, stay below it, and then the next candle opens below the 120, now I know that the market is starting to make sense again. But again, it cracked it. Look, they're buying it back up. All right, cracked it. Look, they're buying it back up. You see the wick on the bottom? At the same time, I'm seeing a bunch of red prints over here. But we want to see Apple crack this 120 decent like that. And now we want to see the next candle open below the 120. And if we see that, then I can expect Apple to go ahead and crack the previous close level and go green to red. If we see that, money printer go burr. I mean, money printer already going burr. But I want it to go brrr. And again, this recording is long. I'm going to stop it. Because again, like when I screen record, like I'm screen recording at like 100 megabytes a second. So it's very demanding and it's taking up a lot of storage on my drives. So I'm going to stop it and then start it again. And again, Apple has now opened a new candle underneath the 120. So, I mean, we still got to be careful here because it's basing on this level right here. I think it's 144. And 144 is such a nice, neat, even round number. I don't know if numbers can be round and even at the same time, but whatever the case, it is we got to be careful with this 144. You see, it's having trouble. It's having trouble getting to that 144 and cracking it. See that? You see all these red prints on AMD though? I want to see Apple freaking crack this 144. All them red prints right there. Look, it's 144. Look, Apple ain't trying to. Excuse my French. Apple ain't trying to give us the 144. It's going towards it though. Look, 144.05. Then back up to 10. Then back down to 7. Back to 10. I'm telling you, man. Like, Apple, like, has the potential to drag up the entire market. Like, I've seen it happen. All right, so now we're trying to give you the 144. All right, look, we're just within 2 cents of it, and then they're buying it, they're bouncing it. But notice, this candle opened below this candle, and if you look closely, you can see a wick on the top, like a little baby wick, which lets me know we want to see this thing crack this 144. Look, like Apple's strong, bro, but bro, their PE ratio is too high. Like, yeah, I know Apple makes good phones. I have an iPhone, but at the same time, bro, like, how many iPhones are you gonna make, bro? They haven't made nothing new. Their PE ratio is too high. Doesn't make sense. Like the PE ratio would be justified if Apple comes out with the next big thing comparative to like the iPhone or something. But when's the last time Apple really came out with some new mind-breaking product, some tech? It's been years, bro. It's been a decade or more. What the last thing that I could be wrong, but I mean the last thing I can think of is what, the Apple Watch? I mean, I've had Apple Watches now for 5 years. Like, bro, it's a good company, don't get me wrong, but bro, it's too expensive. The price to earnings is too expensive for a company that hasn't made a new product in 10 years. Just think about it. And again, while I'm over here watching Apple and ranting, my position's over here trying to creep up and whack me over the head here.